There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now, from economic instability to geopolitical issues. It's easy to feel cautious. And yes, when you say Middle East, it may sound risky for many global investors. But here's the reality: Dubai and Abu Dhabi are ranked among the top 10 safest cities in the world. The UAE passport is among the strongest globally. And this didn't happen by accident. This happened because of a visionary leadership. For the past 2 decades, from the days of the Arab Spring to the financial crisis to the Russia Ukraine war, or even during COVID, Dubai didn't just survive, it thrived. Every time the world got noisy, Dubai stayed focused. Because here, leadership thinks 50 to 75 years ahead. The same leadership that transferred a desert into a global city is now planning for 2040, building the world's largest airport and designing the next phase of the economic growth. And that's exactly why investors from every continent continue to bet on Dubai, not just because of location or tax policies, but because they trust the system, the leadership, the delivery. What if you got a chance to invest in a project that's not just in Dubai, but part of the Dubai government's personal vision itself? A master plan city built and overseen by the ruler's office itself. And that's what Expo City is. It's not just another real estate launch. It is the brainchild of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai. And the opportunity to own a piece of it at this stage, at this price point, is something truly rare. And today, we are going to dive deep into Sidr Residences, one of the last launches. It's not an entire building launch, it's just a launch of the last few available units at Sidr Residences at Expo City, where you could, as I said, enter in today and expect significant 75 to 100% of capital gains within a 3 to 5 year window, right? So you're getting a product with a post-handover payment plan at a price per square foot of just 2,000 dirhams, which even in an average community today, apartments are selling at 1,700 to 1,800 dirhams. So this is definitely a no-brainer price point for an investment. And most importantly, you are getting a post-handover payment plan by a government-backed developer. If you are a purely ROI-based investor, this is probably the most undervalued investment opportunity under a price bracket of 3 million in today's Dubai real estate market. Now let's talk about Expo City first, because this is not just another master plan on paper. As I said in the beginning, this was a city designed, developed and delivered under the personal supervision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. It's a project the government has taken personal responsibility of. And if you ever walk through Expo City, you'll know what I'm talking about. Let me give you a visual. So this photo was taken in 2016 when His Highness was standing on the desert sand in the Expo City location when absolutely nothing was built. And the photo below is him standing at the same location just 5 years down the line, having one of the most futuristic cities in the world being built in just 5 years, as I said. To do something of this caliber in just 5 years, that is transformation. That is not something that is possible even by many of the leading cities in the world today. And this wasn't just some exhibition park. It's a fully functional city with LEED certified buildings, autonomous vehicle routes, climate conscious planning, and walkable car-free layouts. Dubai didn't just host the Middle East first expo. It used that opportunity to build something permanent, something iconic. And now that same government, not a private developer, Expo City Authority itself is building residential buildings, thereby giving you as an investor the opportunity to own a slice of the pie of this great vision. So, if you're an investor asking, where is the safest, smartest place to invest? Somewhere that could also give me the highest possible returns. The answer is simple. Follow where the government is building the future. Expo City is not just a piece of that future, it is the centerpiece. One of the biggest reasons Sidr, or to that matter, any of the launches that happen inside Expo City premises stands out is the limited supply element of it. Inside Expo City, the number of towers are intentionally limited. This is not like some other community where buildings are packed back to back in order to maximize returns for the developer. This is a low density, government planned ecosystem where the priority is walkability, sustainability, and a clear long-term vision. This isn't just a residential zone. It's a complete economic engine. By 2030, Expo City is expected to be home for 40,000 professionals. Currently, there are 5,000 of them working there, with absolutely zero residential towers available as of now. Even by 2030, the number of residential apartments being delivered is just a fraction of this number. So the demand is always going to outpace the supply in this community, because that is how the government is planning that. And these are just a few other interesting developments that are happening in Expo City. Dubai Exhibition Center is already live and functional, and there is some big plans for that which I will be exploring in a moment in this video. DP World has already shifted their global headquarters there. Siemens Energy, Nestle, Fuji, Bag, Live Nation, and many other big companies have already shifted their global, regional, as well as country headquarters into Expo City. Siemens Energy owns 6 buildings in Expo City, and there's something interesting about Siemens Energy's buildings which I'll be explaining in a moment when I walk you through the master plan. Over 135,000 square meters of Grade A office spaces inside Expo City. Grade A office spaces is in significantly short supply in Dubai in the current market. The caliber of offices people moving in, there is a lot of demand for Grade A office spaces. So Expo City is going to be a hub for that. That is a level of commercial density that even Business Bay or downtown would envy. And Sidr Residences is positioned as the closest to this entire business district of Expo City. It is within walkable distance, just a 2 to 4 minute walk to all these offices, the future metro, and the Dubai Exhibition Center. So if you are thinking long-term rentals or even short-term Airbnb rentals, this is the sweet spot. If you were not able to capture an investment opportunity in any of the previous launches, be it Al Waha 1, 2, or Sidr previous, Sky, Mango, well, you're not too late. There is still the last few units available for you to consider as an investment. Now, before we dive into the numbers, let me just walk you through the master plan and explain a few things. I have actually explained this master plan in many of my previous videos as well. Just to briefly walk you through, this is where the Dubai Exhibition Center is coming up. So the current size is from here to here, it is around 45,000 square meters, and it's being expanded in both directions in 3 different phases. As the first phase, by the end of next year, this exhibition center is going to be expanded up to 146,000 square meters, more than 3 times of the current size of it. And most of the mega events, including Jitex, Gulf Foods, is going to happen here post 2026. And this is the Dubai Metro. So this is currently the last stop, Expo 20. Every 3 to 4 minutes, there is a metro to and from Expo City. So these are residential districts, Al Waha 1, Al Waha 2, and you have the Al Wasl Dome at the center of it. This is where the Al Wasl Dome is. This is where Sidr Residences is placed. If you could just see, this side is basically for community school activities. This side you have a hospital. The school and hospital, the names have not yet been announced, but it is going to be of a very high caliber. Obviously, it has to match to the level of service that this community is providing, right? Of course, after all, it's the Dubai government and it's His Highness's personal vision. So this is where all the office spaces are located. For example, you have 3 office spaces here. These 3 buildings belongs to Siemens Energy. As I said earlier, Siemens Energy owns 6 buildings. Siemens regional headquarters is located in Expo City. 3 of those buildings are right in front of Sidr Residences. So we are looking at units in this tower and this tower, probably on high floors with better views. From this side, you have the 250 million square foot large forest where you could see horseback riding, gazelles, water features, and it's going to be beautiful. Just for a developer to allocate 250 million square feet of his master plan for a forest where there's no income to gain, where you could just build maybe a 25 buildings and make significant amount of money. The developer is letting go of that opportunity because the developer again wants to make a statement here, not to make money, not just to make money, so to say. And you have an art plaza here. It's just like Dubai Opera, right? You have a fruits and vegetables market. You have an open air theater here, which could host around 15,000 at a time. And you have so many other amenities in Expo City. It's just like putting multiple communities together and creating one community where you could do business, world-class business, world-class lifestyle, amenities, world-class restaurants. Currently, there are 30 restaurants in this city, and within the next 2 years, that number is going to hit 100 plus. And there's going to be their own dedicated food delivery service. Since the city is entirely walkable, you have transport options, e-scooters, and buggies at your disposal anytime. Very convenient. Although the city is walkable, you can drive your car right underneath your basement level car park and just get into the lift and get to your apartment. So that is how well planned, structured this city is, right? If you just understand the name of this city is going to be Al Maktoum International Airport, the world's largest airport, right? This city is surrounded by highways from all three directions. From this side you have Mohammed bin Zayed Road, this side you have Expo Road, this side you have Al Yalai Street. All of these highways are 7 lanes per direction highways, which connects to the entire Dubai from various directions. So this city is a very well strategically planned. This is being built into something totally different, which is definitely going to set a new standard when it comes to city development in the world. Now let's try to understand some numbers, what we could expect. For comparison purposes, I have taken one community, City Walk, which is an upscale lifestyle based community by Miras. Again, a very beautiful community, walkable, fashion, lifestyle. You have the Coca-Cola Arena inside, and it's a very beautiful community. In terms of lifestyle, that is a similar comparison to Expo City, but definitely Expo City is far better because you don't have a free zone, you don't have Fortune 500 companies inside City Walk. You don't have Al Maktoum Airport next to it. You don't have the World Trade Center right next to it. This World Trade Center currently is located a bit far away, and by next year the World Trade Center is going to move right inside Expo City. So there's a lot more than City Walk in Expo City, but for a closest comparison, I have taken that. Let's try to understand the numbers of City Walk, what they sold 3 years earlier, what they are selling, versus what you are getting at Expo City today, and what you could potentially expect 3 to 5 years down the line. So for comparison, I have taken 2 beds. Let's understand some rentals for 2 beds in City Walk. So I've just gone to Buyit and search for 2 bed rentals in City Walk. These are the advertised prices: 210,000, 275, 320,000, 260, 275, 260. These buildings were completed 2-3 years ago, over the past 2-3 years. So what you get at Expo City, I'm not going through the renders in detail, but if you go through the renders, if you're interested, we can go through those in one-on-one call. You can understand clearly that what you get in Sidr Residences is more refined and more advanced in terms of finishing and all. Not that this is a bad product. City Walk is an exceptionally good product, just to give an idea. So with all this, and given the fact that World Trade Center is going to move entirely by next year, almost entirely by next year, to Expo City, and all these big Fortune 500 companies already being set up and functional, and Al Maktoum Airport coming up there. By the time of handover of these Sidr Residences, you can fairly expect a long-term rental of at least 250,000 for a 2-bedroom. And when it comes to resale, just understand City Walk. These are some of the latest resale values: 4 million, 4.5 million, 4.2 million, 4.3 million. These are some of the latest resales happened in 2025, 1 month ago, 2 months ago. If you go back 3 years, these have been the initial selling prices: 2.4, 2.5, 2.3, 2.7. These have been the initial selling prices for these 2 bedrooms, right? So you are getting a 2-bed at Sidr Residences today at almost the same price, 2.7, 2.8, that price bracket. And 3 to 5 years down the line, you are going to expect a price point of definitely more than 4 million, because the kind of factors that determine or that pushed the price point of City Walk up to 4 million or even up to 4.5 million All those factors are present in Expo City, and even beyond that, 4-5 times beyond that, there are more and more compelling factors in Expo City that could potentially push the price of Expo City apartments even further. You have a 250 million square foot forest inside the community. You don't have a forest in City Walk. You have Dubai Exhibition Center. Currently, World Trade Center, there are 300 mega events happening annually, and in the Exhibition Center, it's going to be doubled up to 600. And all these Fortune 500 company headquarters. So there's a lot of factors that could even push the price further at Expo City, Sidr Residences. And even like if you had already purchased any of the apartments in previous launches, then good news for you. It's going to be applicable for you as well. There's going to be significant appreciation over the next 3 to 5 years time. Of course, if you are interested to explore further, we can discuss these things in detail, because I have done detailed analysis, charts, graphs, trend analysis for my previous investors who invested in this community, in Al-Waha, in Sky, in Mangrove, in Sidr. So of course we can discuss these things in detail, but I'm just giving you an idea. One other thing, if you look at Airbnb short-term rental, this is where the World Trade Center is, Dubai World Trade Center. These are just some rates around the current World Trade Center during peak time. 4,500, 3,000, 2,500, like at least 2,500, 3,000 you could expect during peak time. And during an event, like at the peak of an event, for example, during GITEX, this same would go above 15,000 dirhams per night. Even an average 3-star hotel around this location during an event goes at about 7,000-8,000 during an event, during the peak time. Like if there's a mega event happening for 4-5 days, during that time, the per night rates skyrocket, right? And during off-peak, just to give an idea, because we are going to use these numbers to calculate how much potentially we could expect in Sidr Residences. If you look at, let's say, current date, like let's put somewhere around July 15th to July 17th, and let's see how much it's showing. Okay, again, 2,400, 1,600, 3,000. So, because irrespective of whether it's peak or off-peak, yes, summer is impacting. Summer would be a bit of an impact for a few weeks in Dubai, but not anymore. That it used to be the case maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 years earlier. Now the way the city has evolved, the way the city has developed, the way the city has developed its infrastructure to make sure even during the peak of the summer, you can function normally, because everywhere is air conditioned, convenient, travel and everything interconnected, seamless connectivity and everything. Even during, still there is short-term demand in many of the communities. So right now let's go to the numbers and understand what we will expect at Expo City, Sidr Residences particularly. I have done analysis for a 2-bedroom, because you could practically expect to invest in a 2-bedroom only. 1 bedroom is already sold out in these towers, and I don't think you will be able to get a 1-bedroom even in the future at this price point with this payment plan. But still, you have the opportunity to invest in 2-bedroom, right? So if you invest, let's say for argument's sake, 2.7 million, you could practically expect a rental yield of 250,000 gross minus the service charges is going to be 226,000 something net to your pocket. No other hidden costs, nothing. With that figure, the net rental ROI is going to be 8.1% net. This is minimum. For sure, this is going to surpass. Like City Walk, it's touching 275 and 300,000 we saw a few units. So this is going to surpass. If you have a better view, if you have a better placement, this number is going to surpass, right? But there's one thing. On the possession of the unit, you would have only invested 70%, not 100%. So on the investment of 70%, you are going to rent it out at 250,000. So the first year, your net rental ROI is going to be 11.5%. At the end of second year, you would have invested almost another 15 more percent, so 85%. At the end of second year, the net rental ROI is going to be 9.5%. And one thing that we have not factored in here, this rental amount is also going to increase significantly because of the developments, offices moving. Al Maktoum Airport opening will be getting closer and closer. So this rental figure is going to significantly move up. It's going to be 275,000, 300,000 plus, right? These are practical achievable figures. If you really want, if you really are interested to explore further, we can discuss on a one-on-one call how these can be achieved. On a small video, I can only elaborate so much. So, yep. Well, let's understand short-term rentals. For a 2 BHK, as we saw in Airbnb, during peak, I've just put 60% of the time peak and 40% of the year off peak, and an occupancy rate of 75%. Average occupancy in Dubai is 87%, but for argument's sake, we have taken 75%. Let's try to assume the minimum you can expect, so that you are safe, you are definitely going to earn more than that. So during peak, 2,500 dirhams per night. During off peak, I put 1,000 dirhams per night. So I worked the math. So all inclusive price, maintenance fee when it comes to Airbnb, the holiday home, whatever you give, there's around 15%. With this number, the net is going to be 15.7% ROI, and definitely is going to be higher than that, right? Again, which we can discuss how and why on a one-on-one call in detail if you are interested. When it comes to appreciation, which I did not make a math here, but just imagine 2.7 million, and 3 years later you are getting a price point of 4.5 million. That's going to be around 70 to 80% of an appreciation capital gain in just 3 to 4 years. And these are all conservative figures that I'm talking about. Okay, now one important thing that you need to understand, one of the main reasons why this project stands out, apart from it being in Expo City, apart from it being developed by the government and everything, is the post-handover payment plan. Most projects today come with a very front-loaded payment plan or a heavily back-loaded but with a premium price. And if it's a leading developer, then you are definitely not going to get post-handover payment plans. No, not at all. For example, the same City Walk that we spoke about, City Walk Crest Lane, if you look at, price point for a 2-bedroom is around 4 million with a 75-25 payment plan, 25% on hand. So here you pay 60% during construction, 70% on handover, and the balance 30% you get a 2-year post-handover payment plan by a government developer. That is unheard of, and that is probably not going to repeat again in any of their future launches. Already Al-Waha, they did not provide post-handover payment plans. Sidr they provided, because Sidr Sky Mangrove, they provided post-handover payment plan. And when it's like Mangrove Sky, the post-handover element was more lengthier. Sidr, it became more aggressive. For a future launch, definitely the payment plan is going to be more and more aggressive. So this post-handover payment plan is leveraged in its smartest way, especially because your rental yield can cover a significant chunk of your payment plan, right? So yeah, that's a bit about the investment, the numbers, about the potential of this post-handover payment plan, and about the opportunity. Now let's go 3 to 5 years down the line into the future and look back and understand this opportunity from a different angle. Imagine you are an investor who had the opportunity to invest in Sidr, and you did invest when Expo City was still under the radar for most of the investors. You are now watching the buzz grow, prices climb, number of events happening at the exhibition center grow day by day, the number of offices, the caliber of offices moved in, working there, increasing day by day, and new buyers, particularly top tier executives working in, say, for example, DP World or Siemens Energy, are scrambling to find units to buy there, for them to live, for them to invest in. And you're quietly thinking to yourself, that was one of the smartest investment decisions I've ever made. Because this is not just about buying property. This is about positioning, being early in a government-led ecosystem, and in the heart of what's rapidly becoming Dubai's next powerhouse. And that is exactly why I made this video, to give you an edge that helps you feel confidence 6 months from now when the entire narrative around Expo City shifts. Already it has shifted to a great extent, but this is just the beginning. And actually, I'm speaking from my experience. I've helped clients secure units in previous launches, and I have personally seen how rapidly demand spikes after each of these launches. One of the investors reached out to me last week, just saying how glad he was to act early. Not because I told him so, but because the market proved it to be true. And here's the thing, this specific opportunity, a government developer, not any government developer, but Expo City themselves, offering an opportunity with post-handover flexibility, this is probably the last one of its kind. I mean, when I say this, I am not the kind of realtor who would want to push you saying that, oh, this is the last, it's gone, if it's gone, it's gone. I know developers who do this, even big names, but I'm not the kind of agent who believes in that kind of sales technique. But I'm being honest when I talk about this particular opportunity. I'm pretty confident once these few units are gone, the next launch that is going to come up in the next month, few weeks, in the next weeks or month, is going to be at a higher price point, probably without a post-handover payment plan. So imagine yourself down the line, hearing about how quickly prices moved here and thinking, Thank God I moved when I did. Or better yet, when others are wondering how to get in, you'll already be in with a great unit at a smart price point. That's what this is about. Not just buying real estate, but being early, informed, and in the right place, in the right time, before the rest of the market catches up. Hope this video was of use for you. If you are an investor seriously considering an investment, and if this opportunity or any other opportunity in Dubai piques particular interest for you, definitely you should get in touch with me, because we have to discuss in detail, dig deeper, further discuss all my previous investors who invested in any other opportunity. Like for example, I'll talk about Expo itself. All my investors who invested in Expo City over the past few months, we have been working for days and weeks and many hours of calls, going back and forth, understanding, assessing, and understanding the true potential of the opportunity. So I have personally visited multiple times to Expo City to host Zoom meetings for online overseas investors, to meet investors physically and show them, walk them through the community. All these things can be done if you are really interested and serious about an opportunity. And I genuinely believe on every single point that I spoke right throughout the video about the potential of this opportunity. And I again genuinely believe that there's more to cover. I have this strong belief in my head that however much I explain, I still have a lot to explain. That belief I have, I mean, unfortunately, I cannot keep explaining, keep talking in a limited time frame YouTube video. So I genuinely believe this is a great opportunity. If you are interested, do get in touch with me. Let's discuss this and various other opportunities if you have anything in mind. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, like, and share my channel. Signing off until next time.